Hello, this is Photography Gamer, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. This version was originally released on the PS2. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is a hack and slash role-playing game developed by Snowblind Studios. The game can be played solo or via a couch co-op option. So what is the game like to play? Well, you start out by selecting from one of three classes: Dwarf, Archer or Sorceress. Each one offers a slightly different style of play, and it definitely adds to the replay value. In terms of the characters, you can attack, block, parry and jump. You can use items such as health or mana potions. In terms of the gameplay loop, it's very simple. You head to a location, you kill everything that moves, you search for treasure, hoover up all of the drop loot, and then gather weapons and armor to improve your loadout. You'll fight a boss, then you'll head back to the hub in that particular area. And while you're at the hub, you can gain more side quests by chatting to the locals. Or you can do some trading with local stores if you've got to offload all of the gear that you've accumulated.
Swords, axes, hammers. We have more than enough weapons for everyone.
Your loadout will be constantly evolving with new armor pieces, special jewelry items that offer you buffs, and you will generally just improve your weapons such as swords, shields, bows, two-handed battle axes as you progress through the game. Now for me, Dark Alliance is a game that goes hand in hand with couch co-op. Back in the day, I loved playing this with my friend as we whittled away the hours, hacking our way through endless hordes of goblins, zombies, skeletons and all other manner of monstrosities. It really was a joy, and it still is the best way to play this game. Now the game world, it's broken down into small chunks that feature a variety of main and side quests. The enemies are quite varied, although the bosses, I would say, they are a bit lame. They're not particularly interesting. Maybe there's one or two that work, the rest are just very simple. But I would say that the game does a pretty good job of varying the actual gameplay itself, with some nice puzzles thrown in. You've got some traps that you've got to evade that are quite tricky and deadly, and there's also a bit of platforming, which is kind of surprising. It's also worth noting enemies do not respawn in Dark Alliance, so grinding up your levels is not really possible. So it does well in terms of keeping the game balanced. Your character will progress over time. You can add new skills, stats, traits, perks, etc. Now the game itself is set within the Forgotten Realms campaign of Dungeons and Dragons, with each act taking place in different regions, from the town of Baldur's Gate to the Sunset Mountains. The quests are pretty basic on the whole, but the narrative behind them did keep me caring about what happened next. This in the main is due to the believable and well-paced writing and storytelling.
Word is they're responsible for the murder of 2 city watchmen and the disappearance of several thieves from the old guild. It's like they're soldiers waging a war.
Why? Yes! Yes, it is! Oh, thank you, friend. Thank you!
Beholders are beasts that float above the ground and can cast terrible spells from their eyes. Evil things. I wouldn't want to meet one, and neither would you.
In terms of graphics, they're remarkably smooth and clean considering how old they are, when you compare them to, say, some of the modern hack and slash games. The footage you're looking at was taken from the PlayStation 2 version, and it did kind of shock me just how nice it looked. The menus are clean, they're clear, good interface, good font choices, legible, accessible, very good indeed. In terms of sound, the music I'd say is excellent and really perfectly suits the different settings. The voice acting quality is also top drawer, and on the whole it does make the character interactions feel believable. Also, sound effects, ambient effects, very good, and on the whole, the audio in this game is fantastic. Okay, good and bad points. What's good? The story is pretty interesting and well acted, the hack and slash gameplay is simple and addictive, the character progression is well balanced, and the game keeps throwing new and interesting challenges at you, stopping the game ever becoming too repetitive. Also, couch co-op is a blast. Bad points, the combat is a bit too simplistic and lacking depth, and the amount of loot does become ridiculous after a while, making you feel like you're just a market salesman instead of a warrior. Okay, verdict. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance was a fun game in its day, but it does perhaps show its age when compared to some of the more modern interpretations of the hack and slash genre. Saying that, if you're looking for a simple hack and slash game you can play in couch co-op, then this is pretty good fun. Back in the day, me and my mate, we were really addicted to it, although the loop was, and still is, very repetitive. Kill everything, hoover up golden loot, sell it on, buy new gear, repeat, repeat, repeat. So it's not one I'd recommend buying full price for the new consoles, as they did do this remaster recently and it is way overpriced. But if you can get hold of the original, say on the PlayStation 2 or other consoles of the era, it's still pretty fun and still pretty addictive. So my score for Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is 8 out of 10. I'd say for a solo player, probably more like a 7, but if you're playing it in couch co-op, I would say it's an 8, and for me, couch co-op was how I played most of it, so 8 for me. Okay, that's the review. Thanks for watching. This is PG signing off. Cheers.